Let's start this YouTube thing, or whatever it's gonna be. It's gonna be a great adventure, or it's gonna be nothing at all, right? Like most things. I mean, most things are really what you make of them. But let's concentrate here for a moment and get to the subject matter at hand. And of course, as the title would suggest, well, as the title suggests, it's gonna be a short talk about how, how feel good movies actually makes you feel bad, right? So, yeah, that's about the point, right? I'm trying to make. And if I should kind of elaborate on that point, and I mean, why not? Just have to. Well, it's basically as it reads that the feel good movies actually don't make you feel good; they make you feel bad. So I've been listening to this YouTube channel. I don't really know the name of it now, but it's like School of Life or something. And I can link it in the description if this ever airs to the internet, but who knows. Anyways, yeah. So, good movies doesn't make you feel good, and why is that? And we're 2 minutes in already, that's fucked. Well, see, good movies doesn't make you feel good because they paints a picture that's not true. I mean, you know the phrase, it only happens in movies, right? When something very good happens in life, in reality. So, in reality, the reality portrayed in movies are, of course, far away from the real reality. And so we live in a world, and it's really just I don't know the English word, but an allegory, or it's just a symbol or a metaphor, this whole talk about life in general, basically. So you have all these pieces of art, these beautiful movies that makes you laugh and makes you feel good about yourself, where the guy meets a girl and he has some kind of task, some factory to save or whatever, right? Like some goal, and then the guy succeeds, gets the girl because in the process he impresses the girl and blah blah blah, and so everyone lives happily ever after. I mean, the task is done. I mean, say if it's a company he has to save, he saves the company, makes it even more profitable, and gets the beautiful girl in the end, right? So, I mean, if you were to watch these movies and only do this and not be in the real world, and many people do this, at least when they're not working or with people, they sit by themselves for hours on hours and watch TV shows or movies that portray reality like this. And of course, in the beginning, you can kind of you can kind of tell the difference between the reality portrayed in the movies and then the reality you see around you. But after a while, say 10, 20 years, maybe probably less, few months, this disconnect vanishes slightly, day by day, movie by movie, TV show by TV show. And I mean, by God, I know many people who basically watches TV show for a living, on the side of them making a living, right? So, when this happens, when the false reality merges with or you think that the false reality actually is reality, then you stop to think, like going out into the world again after watching TV shows for the weekend. Like, I mean, some people spend the whole day watching TV shows, and fine by me. I mean, why should I care? But they should care because you see, where did I put? Because they will suffer eventually. I mean, they don't know it, and they probably won't recognize it, most of them, but they probably will. suffer. And so, when the false reality becomes the reality you think, when the false reality becomes the reality, you are living in a false reality, basically, even though you are living in the real reality or the true reality. And so I want to make this video shorter than 10 minutes, so we're gonna cut it around 10 minutes no matter. So I have to speak fast, much faster. I haven't prepared anything at all. I'm just speaking off the top, off the cuff. But basically, when the false reality, when you think the false reality is the real reality becomes so bad, because then you think that everything is possible, and you don't have to do anything, because things will just happen automatically like it does in the movie. I mean, one thing takes the next thing, and voila, the guy saves the world, his world, and gets the girl. And so you think, well, if I just live my life, do nothing, stick to the rules, follow the guidelines that are tossed at me, follow the rules that are tossed at me, sure, I'll meet a nice lady. I'll even marry her one day, But I'm sorry to say, but this is not how the world works. I myself is, say, 26 years old. I'm still young, but still experienced enough to know. I mean, I've known thousands, if not thousands, of people in my life, and most people, because they believe this false reality they are taught by the media or the movies or the TV shows or whatever, their parents even, that they are passive individuals, and they follow the rules, and they do what they must, they do what they think they must, they do what they think they need to do to have a good life. Of course, everybody does this, but what they fail to realize is that they are living in the false reality or the false narrative that they've been taught by all the movies or TV shows they've seen. Of course, there's many other factors, but let's say it's TV shows and movies have a big impact on this false narrative or false this false reality they're living, and so they get in to the real reality, and they see that even though I do all these things as I'm told, nothing becomes like it is in the movies. It doesn't become. I don't save the world, and I don't get the girl, and it creates, of course, a lot of entitlement, and people think, why, when it's portrayed in the movies and TV shows, why can it not happen to me? I always get the shitty jobs, I always get the shitty girls, they leave me before long anyway, so why bother? And so, what I am telling you, and what my advice is, and now I have 1.5 minutes to explain my advice to you, is go out and do not break the rules, but bend the rules, and be active. Like, think, what can I do to improve my life? What can I do to improve this situation? I mean, you don't have to do it, you don't have to be obnoxious about it, but think, instead of thinking it will sort itself out, you have to think it won't sort itself out. I mean, you have to make it so it will sort itself out. I mean, of course, it's easier to make it so that your life will sort itself out into a good state of mind, but you have to be that mind that changes your reality. If you're not, of course, happy with your reality, I happen to be quite happy with my reality. Of course, there's many things I would like to have that I don't, but I think it's really it's very silly to even put the slightest of focus on the things you don't have when you have so much. I mean, you have life, and just having life, you have all you need, basically. But what I am saying to you is, break the rules. Don't break the rules, but bend the rules and be active instead of passive. And don't believe in the false narratives, and don't believe in the happy endings, because there's no happy endings. Everybody dies in the end. So don't believe in the movies, don't believe in the TV shows. And finally, feel good movies do not make you feel good. That's the point, right? Goodbye.